Hi, welcome. It's Mary Ellen McGonagle with your Daily 5. I'd like to begin by providing a bit of background for those of you not familiar. I do have quite a bit of experience both on and with Wall Street. For over 15 years, I was with William O'Neill and Company, and he's the founder of Investors Business Daily. It was that time that I worked with top portfolio managers and analysts, not only advising them on the broader markets, but also on stock selection of high growth stocks poised to greatly outperform the broader markets. I bring that approach to my current firm, MEM Investment Research, where I'm the author of a top performing MEM Edge report. I urge you to go ahead and check out my website for more information. Today, we're not going to be so focused on growth stocks, but rather on a potential way that you can buffer your portfolio from the volatility that is taking place given the uncertainty surrounding a stimulus bill, COVID-19, and of course, the elections. So we are going to take a look at select utility and REIT stocks. Those sectors have been advancing over the last 2 weeks and showing promise. We're also going to share what characteristics can give you confidence in these select stocks that I'll be sharing with you, and then also the fact that these higher yielders historically can be less volatile. So let's take a look at considerations, and in here I'm talking about downtrend reversals simply because these two areas have sat out a good part of the broader market, significant rally out of the bear market, and currently they are reversing recent downtrends. You are going to want to pay attention to simple moving averages. These averages can act as resistance to the upside, and then once there is a break above, they can act as support. So there's a lot of relevance around that indicator. Also, high volume, it's going to tell you that that stock and even that industry group is under accumulation, and it can provide you with the confidence that that move out of that downtrend may continue. Also, downtrend reversals often perform and continue on into their uptrends if there is some sort of impetus, some sort of positive news, whether it's stock related or industry related. And we'll get into that as we move on because these two industry groups are in fact coming into favor more recently. First up, I'm taking you to a view of the real estate sector where higher yielding REIT stocks reside. And quite simply, I've gone ahead and sorted the sub-industry groupings by that StockCharts technical rating. What I did want to point out to you is that there is a very clear-cut have and have not within the grouping, and even among the more vibrant REIT area, it's rather dismal as far as its technical rating, but you will see that when groups begin to come into favor. But I did want to point out some of these weaker areas are not areas that I would advise looking to, and that would be certainly hotel, retail, residential. All of these are going to be, even these industrial and office REITs are not going to have the outlook such that diversified REITs may, simply because of high unemployment, less travel, and other COVID-related negative news. Let's go ahead and take a look at a daily chart of XLRE, that real estate sector. And here's that recent advance that I wanted to share with you over the last 8 days. The sector did peak in line with the broader markets and now more recently has regained that and is poised to recoup and go beyond that recent high in price. We also have an RSI and stochastics that are positive. From here, we can go ahead and take a look at utilities. I would argue they are more vibrant looking than REITs. Take a look. We are at a daily chart here as well, and it is breaking out of this nice 2-month base, decent volume. Your RSI and your stochastics are positive. As we move on, I did want to share with you a longer term view of utilities. This is a monthly price chart, and we can see that it's not always just defensive. Utility stocks had a nice 2-year move beginning in 2018 that took us to that peak where it was at a new high in price prior to that bear market. A lot of this has to do with the same characteristics that are pushing these stocks a bit higher now, and that has everything to do with clean energy. My MEM Edge report was able to identify and take advantage of big moves in select utility companies that were at the forefront of this move to clean energy and also alternative areas of energy. So let's take a look at our first stock in the REIT area. This is PSA, Public Storage. We're looking at a daily price chart, a bit volatile, but we do want to focus here on the fact that this particular stock reversed its downtrend originally back here in August. They are viewed certainly as the top rated in providing consumers with storage space units. And they also offer a 3.5% yield, but they most importantly have a lot of cash that's allowing them to buffer this economic downtrend. In addition, they have seen their rental income has improved. And a lot of this is because within the U.S., there is quite a bit in the way of movement, either people moving back to their childhood homes or moving to different residential areas, and they need that storage. The stock is breaking out of a 3-week base, big volume. Also wanted to point out that today's volume was quite healthy as well, and the stock bullishly closed in the upper portion of its trading range for the day with a positive RSI and MACD. Next up is another REIT stock. This is PLD, ProLogis, and we can see that this particular industrial REIT stock has very recently reversed this consolidation and then pullback so that it's now up above these simple moving averages that I talked about that can often act as resistance. They now have bullishly broken above that on volume. PLD is a 2.2% yielder, but they're more importantly a global leader in logistics real estate. And it's all about the move to e-commerce as consumers are embracing digital sales. There is more need to store those purchased goods as opposed to having them go to stores. And this company is meeting that demand. They also help with inventory control and other areas. The RSI is positive. MACD just turning positive this week. Nice volume on that downtrend reversal. Look for a nice 3-month base breakout as the stock potentially advances higher. Next up, we're going to take a look at a utility stock. The ticker symbol is XEL, 2.4% yielder. We can see it's had nice momentum here recently, and they are focused on clean energy. It's a Minnesota-based utility company. Today, it just broke out of this nice 2-month base. And I also did want to point out that the reason for a lot of this movement in these cleaner energy utility stocks recently is the fact that Biden is ahead in the polls. And for those of you not familiar, Biden does have on tap a potential $2 trillion plan to put toward clean energy. So we can look forward to potentially more upside, certainly if he wins the election. Next up is NextEra NEE. The stock has just broken out this week out of this lengthy flat base, and we can see that the RSI is positive and that MACD just having that nice positive black line up through the red, breaks out of a 6-month flat base. A pretty decent volume. NEE is the world's largest solar and wind power generator, also benefiting from that move into these clean energy utility stocks. Next up is Eversource, ticker symbol ES. We're looking at a daily price chart, and we can see that this stock has really had quite a bit in the way of this upside momentum, significant move already. But just this week, this MACD has turned positive. We do have an existing RSI that is positive. And again, all about that clean energy. What I did want to share with you from here is a 1-hour price chart that can be helpful as far as identifying when this powerful upward momentum may be at the very least pausing, if not reversing. So we're going to take a quick look at a 1-hour price chart. And what I did want to share with you is what it looks like when on an intraday chart a potential uptrend has reversed. And this is taking us back to mid-September for this stock. Your first indication is that the stock breaks below its 5 and 13 simple moving average in line with an RSI that turns negative, as well as a MACD has that negative crossover and goes into negative territory. So that is what you will want to be on the lookout for at some point. This particular stock is overbought. We can see the RSI well above. It can remain here. We've seen that with other alternative energy stocks continue on their upward moves, but certainly you will want to be on the prowl for a potential reversal of that very significant uptrend. I'm going to leave it at that. For those of you, again, not familiar, go ahead to my website, take a trial of my MEM Edge report. Not only will you be alerted to moves into newer areas such as what we are reviewing today, you'll also be alerted to these higher growth stocks that have more recently been able to withstand the volatility and continue to outperform the markets.
Hey, Grayson Rose here with StockCharts. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, consider giving it a like down below, maybe leave us a comment, and if you're new to the channel, you can subscribe at the link up above. We're going to bring you daily content from an incredible collection of technical analysts and financial experts.